everybody, and welcome to the channel Crossing His Spiritual Streams. My name's Tandra, and today we are going to do our 2022 predictions for what you might come across during the year, the kind of things that you might be dealing with, some of the energies that are going to be happening, maybe a little bit of advice if that pops up, or just to give you an idea of the kinds of things you can look forward to for the coming year. We do base this on your astrological sign, and it's for your sun, moon, and or rising sign. So it's a good idea to watch all three of those readings. That way you can get a better idea of what your year might be like. We do this slightly different than other readers in that for each sign, you will have 3 piles to choose from. So hopefully the reading will be a little bit more specific to you, because not all Aries are the same, not all Pisces are the same, and so forth. And so there liable to be some slight nuances or differences in each pile, and that way you have a better chance of maybe getting a little bit more detailed reading. These are the decks that will be used in the readings. So this is just letting you know the kind of decks we're going to be using. This is the Modern Witch. This is the Gypsy Fortune Telling. This is the Old Style Laramand. This is the Romance Tarot. This is the Wheel of the Year Tarot. This is the Black Moon Astrology Oracle deck, and this is the Witch's Tarot. So those are the tarot cards that we will be using in each of the readings. Okay, so next will be the introduction for each specific video. There will be an introduction to let you look at the piles and let you decide which readings to go to, and then we'll get to the readings for each one. So we look forward to seeing you there. Hello Pisces, welcome to your 2022 yearly predictions. As promised, we have 3 piles for you to choose from. We've got pile 1 with the Pisces symbol. We have pile 2 with Pisces written out, and pile 3 with the constellation Pisces. All right, we're going to give you some time to reflect on the piles and decide which one is best for your reading. Don't forget to check out the other readings that correspond to your sun, moon, and or rising signs so that you can get a better picture of the year. Okay, there will be timestamps in the description that will lead you directly to your pile when you are ready to go there, and we'll see you there. Hello Pisces pile 1, those of you that chose the Pisces symbol. We have a lot to look at today. We have our Black Moon Astrology card, and we will be reading in the booklet for that as well, because there's just so much information. I wouldn't want you to miss out on anything important there. We will be clarifying things with our tarot cards and Laramand cards, also with our charms and our romance tarot to get a little bit more information about your romantic life during the year. We also have our oracle spheres, where you can be thinking of a yes or no question that you can get an answer to. And we also have our angel numbers, where they've got the opportunity of giving you any extra messages for the year, if you'd have lucky numbers for the year and that kind of thing. All right, so let's get started here and see what we've got today. We've got the North Node, Life's Purpose, 41. Okay. It actually showed up in another reading that we had. Don't know which one, but okay. Sorry guys, it's taking me a minute here. Okay, here we go. The North Node points out the best areas for us to direct our talents and our wills. The North Node shows the area of gifts. It represents destiny. It is directly opposed to the South Node, which is much more serious and restrictive. The North Node represents where we benefit from good work done in past lives and how that assists us in the here and now. The North Node is the place in the chart where life becomes easier. It acts like a karmic Jupiter, where a doorway opens and suddenly you're where you need to be. When the North Node card presents itself in a reading, you can be assured destiny has a place in your situation. Through many life lessons, you are about to arrive at a place for your highest good. Your life is expanding and opportunities pour in swiftly, catching you quite by surprise. This card also represents past life memories and karmic connections. You may meet people whom you have known over many past lives, perhaps in a soul family where bonds form very quickly. You are taking on a larger view of your life, which not only emphasizes your talents, but aligns your talents with the like-minded souls. It's a fortuitous time to begin a privately owned business or other professional venture that will bring in extra finances. Whatever this venture may be, fun, creativity, and optimism will be a part of it. At this time, you will feel less limited, and your goals and plans will have far-reaching potential. Keep in mind the lunar nodes always bring shifts and changes. For instance, a relationship with someone who has destiny spelled all over him or her may suddenly walk into your life. If so, this relationship will start rapidly and be life-altering. One job may end swiftly, and you will find yourself in a much more suitable position. If the energy is used correctly, it will promote greater optimism and prosperity. This means finances are also likely to increase. This energy is now telling you that the schooling part is over for now. Lessons have been learned, and you are now to act on these lessons towards a greater destiny. At this time, it is evident where you need to go and where you need to be. As the soul's messenger, the appearance of the North Node card in a spread indicates growing into what is called the larger unknown, meaning you are moving towards a point that promises greater fulfillment. The notes are karmic, therefore the lessons are not easy ones. Matters will develop suddenly, but there is still work to be done. Luck is on your side with an opening towards greater things. Karmic lessons learned in process being fulfillment and happiness. The North Node card in brief: life's purpose, the soul's enlargement, balance, karmic rewards and karmic bonds, memories of previous lives, reinforcement, support, movement forward, being right, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, undiscovered talents, fulfillment, the things we can fall back on, being in the flow, trusting destiny, meaningful exchanges, inner balance, the foundation for future success, achievement, giving credit, considering the other side, working with others, emotional security, the past of least resistance, adaptability, inner strength, playing games, wisdom, trust, working well with youth, understanding children, optimism, a stroke of good luck, generosity, charity, wealth, the color deep red, kind authority, the exploration of ideas, expansion and growth. The corresponding tarot card is the Ten of Cups. The key ideas are positive karma, rewards, the soul's enlargement, being in the right place at the right time. All right, so let's take a look at your tarot cards and see where these energies are flowing this year. We got the Four of Wands. Okay. We got the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, all right. We got the Knight of Cups. Okay. We have the little Devil card. We have the Hermit. We have the Ace of Cups. The Four of Cups. The Queen of Cups. And the King of Swords. And then we also have the Bear card, which is number 15, and Fidelity. Okay, wow. Well, one of the things I think your reading is pointing to for the year is in relation to relationships. This could be a love relationship, like a lover type of person, or it could just be a relationship with other people in your lives, people closest to you. Okay? Another thing, too, can be with the Bear card, shows loyalty. And you also have the Fidelity card. So to me, that shows that somebody in your life is liable to show great loyalty and fidelity to you, partnership, being really, really close to you, like that. It also deals with parental love in a lot of cases. And with this energy over here, with the fours that you have and all, I do think your family will be an important focus for you this year, and possibly children as well. It's a a possibility for a group of you to have a child this year or get pregnant. That's only been said in a few readings this time. So if you, especially if you get this message in more than one reading, when you watch the ones for your other signs that we talked about, because you watch them for your sun, moon, and rising. If we happen to say something about pregnancy in more than one of the readings that you pick, then it's definitely a possibility for you guys. So that's, something for you to think of there as well, because your reading does lend itself a lot to family and home and relationships like that. Okay. Also, it's a very possibility that you might get a leadership position in work this year or form a partnership in work this year. I do see the year as being pretty important as far as relationships go. And this card talked about the karmic nature of relationships, in that it's possible somebody that you're destined to have in your life will show up in your life this year. It'll probably be a chance meeting or a quick meeting or something like that, but it'll be very important and will change your life. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a lover. It could be somebody else that's important in your life in some way, shape, or form. Somebody that will transform your life. I do think it's going to help in emotional matters and in emotional states that you have, and also probably be profitable financially as well. Especially if the partner, is somebody that might either become a lifelong partner in your family or a partner in a job, like if you're wanting to start a business or something else like that. I do think you're going to have reason to celebrate, and I do think it is going to have something to do with somebody who really cares about you and is very loyal to you showing up in your life. This year, I do see new relationships forming and starting, but they're karmic ones. They're important ones. You guys are karmically linked that way. It is possible that you might not notice opportunities that come to you this year, so be really careful about that. Please take a look at anything that feels different, that resonates with you differently. That's probably the universe bringing you an opportunity or something else like that, and that's why you're feeling a little differently about it than what you normally would. But if you ignore that or don't pay attention to it and just kind of shrug it off, you might miss an important opportunity this year. So I would like for you to pay attention to that going on there. Okay. Like I said, I do feel like family and your family community, like the people you call family or that you're close to family-wise, are going to be important to you this year. Those type of emotional relationships, those type of things, I do feel like you're going to feel pretty good about those relationships. You're going to have good reason to celebrate this year. You're going to have a lot of good emotions flowing your way through partnerships and family ties and friendship ties and things like that. So that sounds pretty cool. I think there's more that we might discern maybe through the charms and stuff, but let's look at your romance tarot first and see if there's anything specifically about your romantic life that might pop through for the year. All right. Let's see. Pisces, pile 1, romantic life during the year. Let's take a look. All right, we have the Queen of Wands. Okay, and we have the Star card and the Three of Cups. Okay, once again, your romantic life, I feel, is going to be a nice one this year. It goes along with your emotional feelings. I feel like some destiny might be involved. So if you are not with somebody, it is highly probable this year that you will meet the person that you're destined to be with this year. This is a really good year for that. The energies are really flowing in that direction. They might be somebody that you meet through your social group. Like maybe somebody might introduce you to them, or you might meet them because you go to a party or spend some time with your social group or something like that. So that is a possibility as well. If you are already in a relationship, and it's long lasting, like if it's been one you've been in for quite a while, I've said this in many of the readings, but I really feel like those relationships that have those strong ties already are just going to get stronger and have a tighter bond this year. If you are in a relationship and it's not as strong, if it's been kind of rocky or had some issues involved with it, it's kind of iffy as to whether you'll stay in it during the year, because that other karmic relationship will probably show up, and that might hinder or change up the person you're with already. So that's kind of iffy as to whether or not you'll stay in that relationship this year. But of course, if you meet the person you're meant to be with karmically during the year, you'll feel it, you'll know it, and you probably won't be that upset about any kind of breakup with anybody you're with. So that's kind of the energy we're looking at for the romance part for the year. I do feel like the people in your life are going to be emotionally strengthening for you this year. You're going to be able to rely on them emotionally. You're going to feel strong and powerful this year as well. That's one of the things that I feel for your general reading, not so much just for your love life, but just in general. You are going to feel strong, powerful, knowledgeable. We have some really good Queen and King energies. We have the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands. We have the King of Swords. Very strong, practical, able to deal with emotions and bring emotional things to you. Able to be passionate and those types of energies as well. So you have some really good energies flowing there for the year. So that's really exciting. Let's move on to our charms and see what else we might say about your year, or what other energies you might be coming up with. Okay, not a lot of charms, but some interesting energies. Okay. Wow. I see an opportunity this year for some of your wishes and dreams to come true. You have so many charms that show that. You have the Hope charm. You have Rudolph. You have Alice and Santa Claus and the ship. These energies here, these childhood fantasy energies, talk about wishes a lot, or getting your dreams, or getting your wishes, or being in a fantasy life, or things like that. And they also relate to children in a lot of ways. And so I do feel like children might be an important thing in your life this year emotionally. We did talk about that. Not only you possibly having a child, but just children in general may play an important role. But the other energy I got with this is your dreams, your fantasies, your wishes have a huge opportunity to manifest themselves this year and come forward. So you do have the grapes, which shows great abundance and, health and happiness that way. You have the ship, which I, often think of your ship coming in, or, you're getting things that way. We have the Nine of Wands energy, which is that it's that protective energy, but also that great, passionate, creative spirit. Pisces tend to be kind of a creative group anyway. That's just part of it. And they're also a very emotional group. And so the fact that you have so many cups energy flowing, I think, resonates really well with you this year. You do have the seashell, which is a symbol to me also of hidden mysteries, depths, treasures, other things like that. So we've got that. We do have the hacksaw. I see that as building things, and improving things, pruning away the old, getting rid of old things, but also building from the new, from things that you're able to cut out. And then we also have the musical symbol, which to me always shows, any of the musical symbols always shows harmony and melody and a richness through that kind of. It's also the creative energy flowing through you this year, because I do feel like you do have some creative passions this year a little bit as well. But I really feel like this is a really good year for the things that you've been hoping, wishing, and dreaming for to show up in your life and come through in your life. Some of your childhood fantasies might come to life or come through. That kind of energy. I really feel like this is a super good year for that for you guys. So that sounds really cool and exciting. I love that. All right, let's go on to our Oracle Spheres. This is where you think of your yes or no question that you can get an answer to. We have 4 stands for you to choose from. We have green, blue, gray, and gold. You think of a question. It needs to have a yes or no answer that can be associated with it. It needs to be able to be answered that way. And you pick your stand, and we'll go out and we'll get the answers. Number 1, green's a yes. Number 2, blue's a no. Number 3, silver's a probable. And number 4, gold is a not likely. All right, so we have a yes, no, probable, and not likely. So there are your Oracle Sphere answers for today's yearly reading. And now let's take a look at our angel numbers. This is similar in that we have 5 stands. We have green, gold, bronze, purple, and blue. We have our angel numbers 1 through 55. You pick at least 1 stand to get your angel numbers on. You can pick more than one. You can also pick all 5 stands. Some people also like to utilize all 5 numbers as lucky numbers for the year, or they will pick out some numbers that might represent certain months or dates in the year that might be important. So that is the way these are used. As far as the angel number part goes, there are links in the description to some websites that can tell you what each specific number's meaning is, and that will give you an idea of what the angels are trying to let you know or impart to you, or something for you to look at or focus on for the year. Okay, so let's get our numbers. Number 1, green, is 17. Oh, favorite number, favorite color. All right, number 2, gold, is 47. Number 3, bronze, is 33. Number 4, purple, is a 4. And number 5, blue, is 34. So we have 17, 47, 33, 4, and 34. So there are your angel numbers for the year. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here for this reading. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up and share the channel with your friends and family. If there's anybody you know of that would benefit or enjoy any of the videos that we have on the channel, letting them know about the channel is the easiest, best way for our channel to grow and for them to be able to find out about us. And we'd very much appreciate that, to let them know that we exist. Also, do check out our other videos. We have lots of timeless tarot on the channel. We do put up videos every week, and a lot of those are timeless. And we also have our daily messages from Spirit that you might want to check out as well. All right, guys, we look forward to seeing you again, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pisces, pile 2. Those of you are getting your 2022 yearly reading that shows Pisces written out. We have a lot to look at today. We have our Black Moon Astrology card, and we will be looking in the booklet for that and reading what they have to say, because there's so much involved there. We won't want you to miss something important. We will be clarifying that with the tarot cards and Lenormand cards that we have, and with our charms. We also have our romance tarot deck here to find out a little bit more about your romantic life for the year. We also have our oracle spheres where you can think of a yes or no question. And then we also have our angel numbers so they can impart any information to you that they would like to get out to you for the year. All right, let's take a look at what our astrology card says today. 39, air element communicating. Okay. Let's see what that energy is. Think it over first. Put some mental effort into it before you put your talk into action. Be logical and sort it out. The air element is about being objective and becoming mentally inspired. When we think of air, we think of clouds and sky and what connects us to the beyond. Air is all about lofty thinking, being broad-minded and expansive. Air sign people, the Geminis, Librans, and Aquarians, sometimes come off as a little cool and detached. They weigh everything, mull the situation over, decide what they think, and then process what they feel. Air also reminds us of flight, and flights of the mind are what the air element rules over. Those governed by air signs are mentally inclined to and tend to distance the emotions. Air can represent overthinking and distancing the heart and emotion, which the abstractions and mental puzzles. But this works well when things do need to be sorted out and clarified. Air also represents clear seeing in all its capacities, so can signify clairvoyant abilities, as well as seeing things for what they truly are, without emotions involved. When the air element card presents itself in a reading, it is time to put into words what you want, what you desire, and what you expect. The good news is some issues you've been working on at the current time, and possibly from the past, are now being resolved. You are able to face them without pretense, but most importantly, with honesty. Air is all about being quick on your toes, how curious you are, and how ingenious. Air also gives us the power to apply our energies in diverse ways. It's all about being spontaneous, in the moment, and landing on your feet, and where you are able to approach things with precision and sharpness. There is a freedom now to take a new path. Air signs look young, so this card is all about feeling young, looking at things anew, having energy, and being young. When your question is about relationships or romance, someone may not be willing to commit as much to the other at this time. It is possible that they are embarrassed or not as comfortable about sharing emotions as the other. So the air element card can mean there is a type of impasse in a relationship. It can become a type of weighing of all the angles and odds and being unable to reach a decision, but this will only be a temporary matter. You can expect travel in the near future when this card comes up, and it should be a major trip, not a trip that might be routine. It will take planning, and air travel may be involved. Learning about new things will also feature, either through cultural experiences or visiting educational places. Mountainous regions may also be a part. Sometimes this card simply means ambition and the need to soar as high as you can, which is now possible more than ever before. Ideally, this card indicates the powers of manifestation, the magic of mind and thought bringing ideas into being. What you think might be can happen, so guard how you think and be especially careful as to the words you choose. To spell a word, that is to say a word, is to cast a spell. The ancients knew that words held magic within them, so do thoughts. If nothing else, the air element card indicates that your mind and words have power. Use them well. The air element card in brief. Travel, especially air travel, airports, weather, being in the clouds, using words, getting a piece of news, gossip, writing, speaking, lectures, classes, publishing, getting the word out, getting your point across, vacillation, vacillation, moving from one thing to another. Having a divided mind, balance, testing theories, fairness, impartiality, science, music, wind instruments, the voice, the hands, the eyes, and brain, ability to think things through, to analyze, intelligence, finding a solution, being inventive, and cleverness, being humane, being humanitarian, overlooking prejudice, blowing hot and cold. Towers, aloofness, having a cool exterior, motion, suspension, clarity, and mental acuity. Magic wands, feathers, birds, winged insects, smoke, incense, and smudging. The corresponding tarot card is the Ace of Swords. The key ideas are travel, flight, writing, abstract reasoning, science, technology, and impartiality. All right, so why don't we look at our tarot cards and see where that energy is flowing for the year for you guys. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress, the Nine of Pentacles, okay, the Ten of Wands, the Emperor, the Chariot, the Eight of Swords, the Emperor again, okay, and the Ten of Wands. Intriguing. We have number 4 house and the Love card. Wow. Okay. That's intriguing. You have a few of the similar energies as pile 1, but in a slightly different way. It's interesting how you have no air sign, you have no swords cards, except for the Eight of Swords. And so you had the air element, the big time air card here, but everything else in your reading is flowing in other directions than air. So it's almost like your brain and your thoughts and your communication skills will help you with other areas of your life this year. You might get ideas flying to you kind of quickly. I do feel like with your Eight of Swords energy, you will find a way to gain control, be able to face your fears, be able to be logical and rational about things, because you have some pentacle cards that kind of show that as well. So I do feel like you'll be able to logically think things through this year, even if normally you would be inclined to be a little bit more emotional about it. So I think there's that going for you. I also see that I feel like you guys are going to be harvesting or reaping a harvest or giving birth to something this year, like a new business or some sort of possible giving birth, possible, almost what you'd call it, like that whole energy of harvesting what you've been putting effort into is here. It's really deep. It's really strong, okay? With the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles energies, I do feel like you might get some earthly rewards, possibly monetary rewards for things that you've put into. You have the Emperor twice and the Empress. Both of those to me show great wisdom, great knowledge. You're gonna have a lot of knowledge about things this year because of your air element, bringing forth that mental acuity and those other things. But the Emperor and Empress and other things also bring that knowledge to you. But what's also interesting about the Empress is that she is often a symbol for children, or that abundance, or that reaping what you sow sort of energy. And I do feel like with your Ten of Wands, that's releasing of burdens, that's gathering up all your wands and taking care of those. We've got the Ten of Wands over here, so you have that energy twice. That's that gathering up. A lot of times the Ten of Wands shows a lot of burdens. I feel like it's more the release of burdens. I feel like it's more of getting rid of some of those ideas. I think that this might be a time for you to shed some ideas that you have about certain things in the world. or how the world works. I think that's kind of the Chariot card. It's moving you forward where, the way you think about things is going to change up just a little bit. I do feel like your family and your house and that stability, that type of information, the family. The number 4 deals a lot with your family. It's also the house. So I do feel like you're going to, I think, increase. Either you're going to move to a bigger, better house. You're going to be able to improve the house that you live in so that your family has a little bit more, going for it. It's going to, see improvements. Or you're going to, like I said, add to the household, like members, like, actually having children or other things like that. There was an energy in the first pile too, so that's interesting. If you have an energy of having children that you have ran across in other readings, because we did say that in a couple of other readings, if you happen to be, when you look at your sun, moon, and rising signs, if you happen to pick a pile that talks about you getting pregnant or having a child, and you also see it in this reading, that chances of that happening go up quite a bit. Okay, so that's something for you to think about. But I do feel like that home, that making of a home, that improving of a home, you'll have some great ideas on doing that this year. You're going to build a strong foundation with your family and your home this year. It's possible you might get married or move in with somebody. That might be how you increase your home or whatever, because we also have the love card here as well. So you're going to feel great love and joy and other things with family members or people that you move in with or are living with or, making a home with, that kind of thing. And it could be children, it could be a spouse or a lover or a close friend or other things like that. All of those energies all fill up the house. They all do that. And I do feel like you might be releasing some old fears and energies and things like that due to some wisdom and new ideas and other things that you're going to be feeling for the year. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty exciting. Well, go ahead and we'll move on to your romance cards. We'll see specifically what we might see that way. All right. So let's see specifically what we see for your love life this year. I do feel like you might increase your love life in that, if you're with somebody, you might make it more permanent or move up in levels. If you're not with somebody, you might meet that person this year, that kind of thing. But let's see what these cards have to tell us a little bit here. Okay. Wow. Interesting. You have the Emperor again. The Emperor showed up 3 times. In practical terms, the Emperor means stability, structure, authority, discipline, those types of energies. He showed up 3 times in your reading today, which that is very rare. And he's also the 4, which we saw the 4 here. The 4 means your home. The 4, it's also a stable structure. It's also a foundation or whatever. So I really feel like you're going to be working on foundational principles this year, and especially dealing with your home and the house. You're going to stabilize things quite a bit. You're going to feel very stable all year. You're going to do things to make that come about. But also another energy that the Emperor card has that we have not talked about is he can be kind of a tyrant, dominant, rigid, those kinds of energies. So I don't see that as being a huge problem for you this year because we had all this other wonderful feminine energies with the Empress and the 9 of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles here. We have some other energies that can kind of help break through that rigidity and possibly domineering type of things. But I will feel like a few of you might be in a little bit of a domineering type of situation in your relationship. The person might be a little bit more, or you might get with somebody who has that kind of personality, who they're disciplined and they're, have a lot of authority. You know, they carry themselves with authority and that kind of thing. It's very possible you will meet with somebody that this year, or you will be in a relationship with somebody like that this year, that might have those kind of personality traits, because that energy flows through your reading quite well. We do have the Three of Wands energy. To me, that might mean any relationships that you might get into might be quite passionate ones, quite creative. You might even find yourself in a non-traditional type of energy there a little bit, and that's really interesting because you have all the Emperor cards, which are very much traditional, and then you also have the Hierophant here, which is another traditional, stable, trying to think of the word I'm thinking of. Uh, there's a word, as I'm having trouble grasping it. Traditional was almost it, and that plays, but there's a word very similar to traditional that the Hierophant represents, and so does the Emperor in a lot of ways. It's that old school, that things being done in an old-fashioned, traditional kind of way. And so you would think, okay, you would be in traditional type of relationships and whatnot, and that is possibly true. For some of you, I think there's quite possibility of marriage, engagements, moving in with somebody, which is now becoming more traditional than it used to be. But it's very possible that that will happen this year, because you will be forming that foundation and those kinds of energies. I see that definitely in your reading, and that's a huge possibility for you guys this year. But it's also possible for some of you to get in some sort of unusual or non-traditional type of relationship, especially if you're not in one, or if you're in kind of a new one. It's possible you might be in a love triangle. It's possible you might have many suitors. It's possible, there'll be some of those other kind of energies going on this year. So it's interesting how you kind of have the dichotomy there. There's a little bit of both. You have the structure and the rigidity and the building foundation and all that kind of stuff. And then you have the possibility of non-traditional things happening as well. If you are in a long-term relationship already, it's just going to get stronger and deeper. Like I said, you've probably been building a foundation or a home with this person. You might move to a better home, or finally, buy a home or move into a home this year. Those kinds of energies. Like I said, if you've not gotten married, it's quite possible you will this year, for in relationships that you're in like that. So those are the energies we're kind of seeing for the year. Like I said, you're going to be very much focusing on building a home, increasing your home, building a foundation, those types of things, okay? With the air energy, I really feel like you're going to have some good ideas on these kinds of things. Some ideas will come to you. You'll be a lot more practical this year in a lot of the things that you do, because a lot of your cards show that practicability, that being practical. So I really feel like that's something that you might be dealing with as well. Okay, so those are the energies we've got going on there. Let's move on to our charms and see if we can get any more clarification or any other ideas. Okay. We do have, okay, the snake here. The snake is representative of knowledge. I also see the snake as traditional information in a lot of ways. You guys are going to gain knowledge this year of a lot of areas of your life. You basically will be pulling in information throughout the year on all kinds of subjects, all kinds of topics, all kinds of things. And I think that's going to help with that foundation building that we talked about before. We have the Confident Kitty and the Rooster. I think you guys are going to come into gaining your confidence this year. And that goes along really well with the Emperor and the cards like that, because they are in authority and they do have that dominance, to them. And so I feel like you're going to gain in your authority this year, your confidence. You're going to feel like, you're in charge of things, kind of energy, because that is flowing throughout your reading really well as well. We do have the ship here. Sometimes when it shows up, I think of your ship coming in, or you getting, some monetary benefits or some other stuff. And you do have some things that shows that you might get an increase in that. Like you might, get a promotion in your job. Like I said, I do see an increasing in your home, an expansion there somewhere. And that might have to do with you maybe getting a raise or a promotion or other things in your work life, which would help you be able to do that expansion that we were talking about. That's also helpful with your foundation building as well. So that is a possibility this year for you guys, quite well. But there is that idea of children and stuff too, in that it takes a big heart to teach a little mind. So children might play or figure into your life quite prominently this year. You might have children, you might deal with children, you might work with children. This card also talked about being in connection with children a little bit. So that's something for you to think about, that might be something that you might do. Also the ship, when I saw the ship, besides your ship coming in, the other big energy with the ship, more than the abundance thing we talked about, because that's kind of, I don't see that as being a huge factor this year. I think you might get an increase, but I don't see it as being, like a huge windfall or anything like that happening. But I see the traditional thing again. I think you guys are going to go back to traditional ways on a lot of stuff. I think you guys are going to be looking at things very traditionally. I think you guys are going to be dealing with things traditionally. Old-fashioned type of things might come into your mind. I almost think like if you had a baby, you would name it with a very older type of name. That kind of energy flowing this year. So, there you go, if that resonates with you at all. We do have the Seven of Pentacles. That does deal with spirituality quite a bit, and we did have the Hierophant and other things that dealt with that. So I do feel like you might be working on your belief system and that kind of thing this year. I think that might be important to you. We do have an S. I thought of Superman when I saw the S, so that's kind of a nice image, but there could be words or other things that you think of when you see the S. So I'm going to let you guys work on that on your own. But that is definitely the energies I'm seeing for this year. I see you as growing, you're getting more confident, you're possibly getting promotion, you're expanding your house and environs and your foundation and those kinds of things. All that energy is all what's flowing through your whole reading. All right, let's take a look at our Oracle spheres. This is where you think of your yes or no question that you would like to get an answer to, and you pick a stand. We have green, gold, purple, and blue today. All right, so let's go out and we'll get our answers. Number 1, green, is a maybe. Number 2, gold, is a not sure. And number 3, purple, is, as I pick it up, a probable. And number 4, blue, is also a probable. So we got maybe, not sure, probable, and probable. All right, let's move on to our angel numbers. We have 5 stands. We have gold, bronze, silver, blue, and green. You pick at least 1 stand for you to get your angel numbers on. You can pick more than 1. Some people will pick all 5. When you do pick all 5, it's also, you can use them as your lucky numbers for the year, as well as any messages that you might get from them. We do have links in the description that will lead you to websites that will tell you what each angel number means, so you can get an idea of what the angels are trying to communicate to you through these numbers. All right, so let's find out what our numbers are. Number 1, gold, is a 37. Number 2, bronze, is a 34. Number 3, purple, or gray, silver, sorry, is an 18. Number 4, blue, is a 26. And number 5, green, is a 50. So we got 37, 34, 18, 26, and 50. So there are your angel numbers for the year. Wow, guys, thank you so much for being here and letting us do the reading for you. Don't forget to check out our other videos on the channel. Give the video a thumbs up and share the channel with your friends and family. If you know anybody that would like to watch our videos, get any kind of benefit out of our videos, please let them know that we exist and how to find us. We do have a unique URL in the description that you can copy and paste, or you can just say go find them at Crossing the Spiritual Streams on YouTube. We really appreciate that as well. Do check our other videos out. We put out a lot of videos. We do some every week, and many of those are timeless. But we also do our daily messages from Spirit, so you might want to look at those. All right, we look forward to seeing you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pisces Pile 3. Welcome to your 2022 predictions and informations about your 2022. You guys are the one that chose the Pisces constellation. We have a lot to look at today. We have our Black Moon Astrology card. We will be looking in the booklet for that today. There's a lot of information in here, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on some important topic or energy. We also have our tarot cards that we'll be clarifying everything with in our Lenormand decks here. We also have a romance tarot that will be looking specifically at a little bit more about your love life. We also have our charms to help clarify the reading. And then we also do our oracle spheres and angel numbers. The oracle spheres are where you can think of a yes or no question that you can get an answer to. And the angel numbers are an opportunity for you to get some more information from the angels or have some other things in your life to look at for the year, and also maybe get some lucky numbers. All right, so let's see what we've got going this year. We have the third house, number 27, messages. Okay, third house is an important house in tarot. I mean, they all are, but third house is one of those. It's Gemini's house, and it's good with communication. It's good with siblings. It's good with a lot of things. So let's see what the booklet has to say here. Okay. Words have power. Now is the time to get your point across. With this card, you may also get a clearer direction in the way to proceed. The third house also represents neighborhoods and siblings. The third house is the area of the astrological chart that reveals how we think, speak, and communicate. It signifies our need to know and demonstrates how we put our concepts and thoughts into words. You are in search of answers and in need of unlocking mysteries, but your mind is agile and you're able to grasp every detail right now. You may wish to express this mental suppleness through writing, speaking, and researching subject matter which has always intrigued you. Libraries call to you. You may suddenly wake up with an idea that could turn out to be very lucrative. You may even be toying with the idea of writing a book, starting a blog, perhaps a screenplay, or a position at a local news media outlet. There couldn't be a better time than right now. As well as dreamy or imaginative writing and poetry, the third house also represents dexterity, swiftness, curiosity, and figuring out the mechanism of what makes things work. So this could mean expressing yourself about something rather technical. The third house, more than any other, is the house of the mind. Mercury is about giving and receiving information. When this card turns up in a reading, there is a need to uncover all that you can and relate the information to others. Also an area of commerce and sales. When the third house card presents itself in a reading, it can indicate a time of buying and selling and becoming involved in retail transactions made over the internet. Issues dealing with siblings may come up. There may be questions you must resolve to do with brothers or sisters. Your neighborhood may even be going through some changes. The third house also signifies your neighborhood, so expect events that will make a difference there. For more in-depth information, look at the surrounding cards. If the moon card is also in the spread, it might indicate secretive actions carried out at night. Perhaps meetings or even vandalism or burglaries are possibilities. If the Mars card is present, look for noise and radical changes you may not be so happy with. With the Saturn card present, it could mean that an area may start to appear old or decrepit. Also, with the Saturn card, be careful how you put your thoughts and feelings into words. Other persons may not be as warm and receptive to your words and ideas as you hope them to be. This card can also mean you'll be talking your way into and out of tough situations. However, you will be mentally able to grapple with issues and sort them out well. Important documents and other paperwork are indicated. This isn't your everyday type of paper shuffling. The matter will be more significant than the usual. This card also indicates a fortunate time to start a business of your own, perhaps working in translation, creative software, or something to do with deciphering codes and messages, for example. You may also become involved in studying other languages or anything related to and working towards a common good. Meditation and relaxation are suggested when this card presents itself. If the Neptune or Pisces card falls in the spread along with the third house card, your thoughts are likely inspired ones, and you could be having psychic or mediumistic communications. The third house card, in brief: finding the right words, discussion, being of two minds, facilitation, hesitation about stepping into situations, coming to clear choices, objectivity, short trips, air travel, or taking flight, mastering something new, neighborhood events or changes, connecting to the greater mind, owning what you know to be true, being chatty or talkative, closing down emotionally and relying on common sense, turning cold on someone or someone turning cold on you, hand-to-eye coordination, games and figuring out puzzles, intelligence, inventions, numbers and letters, needing to do math, early schooling, scripts, codes, siblings, bargains, signing of contracts, sales, and commercial transactions. The corresponding tarot card is the Three of Pentacles, and the key ideas are short journeys, the neighborhood, siblings, signing documents, communication, and rumors. Okay, so let's look at your tarot cards here and get a better idea of the energies going for the year. We have the Eight of Pentacles, we have the King of Cups, we got the Two of Cups, we got the Eight of Pentacles again, we got the Star card, we got the Six of Pentacles, we got the Wheel of Fortune, we got the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, lots of earthly energy going on here. And then the Nine of Swords. And we also have the Man card and Widow. Okay. Interesting. It's interesting that you got the third house card, which deals a lot with writing, communication, that type of energy, also ideas and things like that. But most of your cards this year deal with work and earthly related matters such as earning money and your health and those kinds of issues. So between the two, being together there, with the Pentacles cards, especially since you had Eight of Pentacles show up twice, it's very much a hard work and effort kind of card. I do believe that a main focus of yours this year will be on work and earthly matters such as work, such as how you earn your money, how you deal with your money. So what's important about the third house card in relation to that is that one of the things that came to mind is family business. The third house deals with your siblings. It is very possible that you guys will go into the family business, will join the family business, will join up with your siblings in creating a business or job or other things like that. Or, along with that, your siblings may play a part in any kind of business matters that you deal with this year, any kind of things like that. For instance, if you want to start your own business and they don't go into it with you, they might help finance it. If you are looking for a new job, or maybe they might tell you about a job opportunity, something like that, your siblings might help you out with that. That is an energy I'm highly getting for you guys this year as far as that goes. One of the issues that you do have in here is your Nine of Swords. That's how you think about things. The Swords energy is that air energy. It is that thinking, your mind, and so forth, which the third house represents and works with. with the Nine of Swords energy, I feel like it's the 3 times 3. So it's the 9. It's the third house, squared basically. And what I feel about that, how I can relate the two, is that I feel like you will get more clarity this year on ideas and on, like, your mental health. I think is going to play an important role this year, in that I think the way you look at things is going to change up. I think how you deal with the universe is going to change up. I think some of those kinds of things will be different for you. You'll be able to overcome those obstacles. You'll be able to work on those things and do some things. It's interesting how you had the Man and the Widow card, because that, widows are often, they deal with loss, they deal with, recovery after loss, things like that. And then the Man card, the energies are almost opposite of each other, which is kind of what's throwing me here a little bit. And maybe, okay, I think the reason why the two energies might flow together, you also have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups, to me, is quite often that bringing, that coming together, that partnership that you might feel in a lover's card, even. But the Two of Cups doesn't have to be lovers. It's any partnership, or people coming together emotionally. And I almost see the Widow and then the Man almost like, okay, she almost gets another person to be a partnership with. She gets somebody to help her get back on track and through life, because she's lost her husband. When you think of traditional widows, they often would remarry and get married again. And so there's that whole energy of getting a partner this year, or being with somebody who help you become stronger because you have a partnership, if that makes any sense. And you do have the partnership energy here. So and we talked about you possibly going into a partnership this year in business matters. I do feel like you are going through a change of fortune. Things are changing up on the wheel. Things are going to be a little different than what they have been so far in the past year or two. I think things are going to be changing up. You are going to be working hard at it. I do think you will be focusing on work or work-related matters. So either, you might get a raise, you might move to a new job, you might start your own business. But I do think partnerships quite possibly will figure into it in some way, shape, or form. And that's where also the third house will come into play, in that it talks about communication. And obviously, if you form a partnership with somebody, you'll need to communicate with them directly, one-on-one, and share ideas back and forth and that kind of thing. So that's something for you to think about as well, that whole energy. Also, another energy of the third house, and with Gemini type of energies that the third house involves, is quick thinking, new ideas, innovative solutions, things like that. So it's very possible that you'll come up with a good idea for a business this year, or a good idea that will help you out in the work that you're already doing, or something like that, because ideas are liable to flow to you easier and better this year. It was interesting how the card talked about meditation being important. You do have the Star card, and with that energy, it's very possible that you will be getting downloaded messages from Spirit, that's part of the communication that you will be dealing with for the year. And being able to tap into that or connect with that, meditation or other types of things like that might be necessary to tap into that communication process that is happening there with spirit. The other thing that might favor in with that is possibly automatic writing or journaling or message boarding and things like that. I think that that will help you download more of the messages from spirit. That will help you have ideas and things that you can follow up on from spirit there too. Okay, so there's that kind of partnership forming this year. You connecting with spirit a little bit more than you have so far in the past. So there's a lot of that whole energy this year of partnerships and working together, possibly your siblings and things like that as well, like we talked about earlier, some of the ways that they can work your way into there. Let's look at your romance card specifically and find out what we might be able to find out about your romantic life for the year. Okay, here we go. Pisces, Pile 3, Constellation, Romantic Situations for the year. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Like almost every reading this year, if you are in a relationship already, and it is a strong, stable one, been around for a little while, it doesn't have a lot of rockiness to it, it's one you've been in fairly while, that one should stay fairly stable this year. You should be able to build good foundations with it. You should be able to keep going. You might even find some renewed found passion in that relationship. Okay? If you are not in a relationship, it is very possible that you will come across one this year and you might form that partnership that we talked about, and they might help you out in that business venture or starting your own business or doing something like that. It should be quite a passionate relationship if you do get involved with one. If you are in a relationship that is not as solid as the first one that we talked about, it might just kind of go along the same old this year. It might not get shaken up a whole lot. It is possible that with the ideas that you have flowing through you, and the Knight of Swords is also that air energy, that you might think about the relationship differently or in a different light than you already have, and so forth. So that is a possibility for those guys that are in your various stages of relationships. Okay, if you're already in a relationship but it's not a good, strong, stable one, it might just grow more stable over time. You might stay in the relationship and keep working at it. I do see you hard at work on a lot of things this year, and that's possibly one of the things that you might work at, is any kind of romantic entanglements that you have that way. But like I said, if you're not with somebody, it is possible you will get in a quick, passionate relationship with somebody that may not last. It may or may not. But for the most part, the energy is just mostly that first newfound passion that you get with somebody new in your life. That's the kind of energy I'm seeing. I'm not necessarily seeing any energies beyond that, so I'm not sure if it'll be more long-lasting or long-term than that. It might be relatively temporary, or it might, bloom into something more stronger and stable, and so forth. So there is your romance tarot for the time being. Let's look at your charms. Sorry, guys, got all the stands here. We'll look at your charms. We'll get an idea of anything else that we might find out about for the year. And give it a really, really good stir. Okay. Okay. I do see some nurturing happening this year. We got the watering can, and we have the nature bunny. The star bunny. That kind of energy. So I do feel like there is some nurturing energies going on. You might be nurturing projects or businesses, if you decide to open your own business or go into business for yourself. That's kind of the energy I'm getting there. We also have the horse, which is also a symbol of knights. Knights are wonderful when they come into our lives, and you did have the Knight of Swords earlier in your reading. Knights can bring kind of the spoils of war back to us. They can bring that word of victory. They can do a lot of that kind of thing. It's kind of hard to explain. But basically, plus there's knights in shining armor kind of, attitude where we think of, somebody showing up in our lives that, are going to be our happily ever after kind of person. And that's very possible that that person will come into your life this year. Your protector and your savior kind of energy. That is very possible because you also have the bear claw, which is another strong energy along with fearless. So somebody who has that kind of nature that's willing to go out and fight and do other things like knights are, but also might be, kind of tough and that kind of thing. That's very possible that, that's somebody that's going to come into your life there. You have the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a good manifestation energy. It's also a 7. So, that connection with spirit that we talked about earlier. The Six of Cups or Six of Diamonds, sorry, which is Pentacles, deals with having enough abundance that you're able to give out some to other people and help them out as well. So it's very possible an energy that you got going this year. You do have a couple of lucky symbols. You have the lucky horseshoe and you have the lucky four-leaf clover. Your luck might be really good this year. We had the Wheel of Fortune card earlier, so it's very possible that certain gambling pursuits or other things like that, luck might be on your side. I wouldn't go out and spend gobs and gobs of money expecting that to happen, though. I never, ever, ever recommend doing that. But if you happen to buy a lottery ticket, or if you happen to go to a casino and spend a little bit of money or, an evening enjoying yourself, it's very possible that luck will be on your side and that you will pull in some extra money or, from those types of endeavors, from lucky type of breaks and that kind of thing. Now, the other energy that you have with the lucky symbols is that might mean things like a fortuitous situation, like you might meet up with somebody that helps you out, financially, and it was lucky that you ran across them, or other energies like that as well. So that's kind of the luck energy that you have going for you this year, which that's pretty cool. I like that. We also have an N and a T. I thought of TNT, which is explosive type materials. So I think that goes along with some of the passion that I think you might feel for a partner if you get into a new relationship this year. Is it might be kind of intense, might be kind of explosive. Excuse me, that kind of energy. So that's pretty cool and intriguing. All right, let's look at our Oracle spheres. We have 4 different stands. We have green, blue, silver, and gold. You pick which stand you'd like to get an answer on. You think of a yes or no type of question, and we'll go out and get the answers. Okay, number 1, green, is probable. Number 2, blue, is also probable. Number 3, silver. Oh my. I hate it when they fall on the floor. Give me just a sec here to reach it. Number 3, silver, is a maybe. And then number 4, gold, is a probable. Wow. 3 probables and a maybe. So interesting. All right. So we have probable, probable, maybe, and probable. All right. Let's go on to our angel numbers. This is where you pick a stand, at least one stand. You can pick more than one. We have green, bronze, gold, purple, and blue today. You pick whichever stand you would like your angel numbers to appear on. And there are links in the description to websites that will tell you what each individual number means, so you can get an idea of what the spirit angels are trying to let you know through those numbers, but you can also pick the numbers out as being your lucky numbers for the year. You might be able to use the numbers as important dates or other numbers that might be important for you as well. So however that resonates with you, to get information on, that's what you should do. All right, so number 1, green, is a 47. Number 2, bronze, is a 14. 2 numbers here. Number 3, gold, is a 27. Number 4, purple, is a 42. And number 5, blue, is a 16. So we have 47, 14, 2, 42, and 16. So there are your angel numbers. Thank you so much for being here for the reading. Don't forget to check out your sun, moon, and or rising sign videos as well as this one. Whichever one this one corresponds to, make sure you watch the others. Do check out our other videos on the channel. We do put out videos every week. Many of those are timeless. We also do our daily messages from Spirit, so you might want to check those out. We look forward to seeing you again, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.